Hello everyone, my name is John Haupt and welcome to my presentation on presentations. This presentation is going to focus on TED Talks, and the idea is that this presentation is going to talk about how TED Talks are designed. So we're going to talk about how the presenter presents themselves, we're going to talk about how the background is designed, and we're going to talk about how the presenter presents his slides for his presentation. Okay, so let's get started. So the first talk we're going to look at is called Try Something New for 30 Days. And the speaker for this talk is Matt Cutts. Matt works as an engineer at Google. And if you look in the bottom left corner, you see a picture of Matt. And as you can see, his dress is casual, which is appropriate because his talk is about an everyday subject like goal setting and goal achievement. On top of his simple casual dress, the TED stage during his talk is also simple. Notice the armchair positioned to the right of the screen. The way that the lights are dimmed underneath the projector screen and then fade out into total darkness when the screen starts focuses the eyes of the audience on the projection screen. A final design feature to consider is the red dot the speaker stands in. It focuses the audience's eyes on the presenter. Okay, now these are two slides that Matt Cutts used in his presentation. He chose to use simple slides with either listed text or images. His slides always relate directly to what he is talking about and provide a visual for the audience to visualize his ideas. He uses bold font to focus our attention at the title and the headers of the slide with the list. This font focuses our attention on the main idea to add something to our life while subtracting others, and do this over a 30-day period to achieve success. The second slide is simply just a picture to show you how other people have done a similar thing of doing something for 30 days and seeing the result. Okay, that is our first talk. Now our second talk is called Keep Your Goals to Yourself. And this talk focuses on the idea that we are more likely to achieve our goals if we keep them to ourselves. The speaker for this talk is named Derek Sivers. He is the founder of CB Baby, which at one point was the largest seller of independent music on the internet. Sivers is dressed casually. He has his shirt unbuttoned, and he's wearing jeans. As with Matt Cutts, Sivers' dress is appropriate for the subject of his talk, which is about achieving our goals. Now, a difference between this talk and the last talk is, unlike the last talk with the simplistic stage design, Sivers' stage design is more dynamic. The colors are bright, and they're unique shapes like letters and boxes in the back, which clearly draw the audience's attention to the stage. However, as a viewer, I don't know whether or not the dynamics of the stage would take away from the speaker in his presentation. It seems like the design would require the presenter to be really dynamic to make sure he doesn't lose the attention of the audience, because there is enough to look at on stage that could steal their attention. So although it's very dynamic and eye-catching, does it take away from the presentation? Okay, talking about his slides, Sivers uses only two slide type designs. He uses a plain text writing, or he uses a collage of pictures. In this example, at the top you can see the plain text writing. He throws in some variation by making the word less bold. This emphasizes the idea to his audience that less is the key word and the word that they should focus on. His collage design, on the other hand, all his pictures are related to a concept he's discussing. They are meant to provide the audience with a visual representation of ideas. The clarity of pictures allows the presenter to show visuals that will resonate with different members of the audience. For example, an audience member who likes The Simpsons might relate to The Simpsons image, but not the push-ups image, and someone who doesn't like The Simpsons might relate to the jogging image and not the Simpsons image, and this allows him to reach a larger audience and have them connect with his presentation. And he does this throughout his presentation, but this is just one example of one of his slides. Okay, so that's it for talk 2. Moving on to talk 3, the 4 ways sound affects us. And this talk is going to focus on the unknown way sounds affects our everyday lives. For example, how sound might affect our performance at work. Okay, and the speaker for this talk is Julian Treasure, who is the chair of Sound Agency, a firm that advises businesses on how to use sound. He, like our other presenters, is dressed casually. His shirt is unbuttoned and even untucked. It is starting to seem like these TED Talks are meant to be a relaxed presentation environment where presenters share their brilliant ideas in a free-spirited environment. On our first 3 presenters, we don't see them actually being dressed with a suit or a tie. It's more of a casual thing. Moving on to background. The background for this presentation returns to a more simplistic design, similar to the Try Something New for 30 Days design, which was Matt Cutz's presentation. The lower portion of the background is different than the top portion of the background. The top portion is dark, which allows the projector display to pop out at the audience. On the sides of the stage, there are 2 red columns with some sort of lighting design that focuses the audience attention within that area. This creates a boundary for the eyes. Overall, the stage design focuses the attention on the presenter and the presentation and does not have too many distracting elements. Okay, now for his slide designs. Treasure uses a variety of slides throughout his presentation. The first type is a picture slide with a bold title. For example, if you look at the top left of the screen, you have Accidental and Unpleasant with 2 guys yelling in megaphones in another man's ear. The purpose of these slides is to visualize his ideas. The text provides a clearer direction for the audience than just a picture alone. Thus, Treasure is using the text to make sure the audience makes sense, so the picture makes sense to his audience. The second type of slide uses shapes and colors to show relationships, and this is in the top right corner. He uses colors to show the relationship of ideas. He also uses arrows to show movement of sound. And then he also uses shadows with his shapes to create depth on the screen. And the final type of slide was a text-based slide with a textured background. Treasure used the slide to present his ideas as he was speaking. However, for me as a viewer, this type of slide had issues with clarity and visibility. The main issue was the background color and the color text, as can be seen with the green text on the gold background. It doesn't stand out enough to the audience. Okay, and that's it for these slides. Moving on to talk 4. The title of this presentation is Forget Multitasking, Try Monotasking. The talk focuses on the problems that multitasking creates, and the presenter suggests that we should stop trying to overcomplicate our lives and revert back to working on one thing at a time. The presenter's name is Paolo Cardini. Paolo is an MFA design assistant professor. Paolo presents himself in a casual manner, very similar to past presenters we have discussed. What is unique about Paolo is his throwback mustache. I would argue that this clearly relates to his idea about returning to monotasking. The stage for this presentation has a similar design as two of our previous presentations, in that the stage is lighter at the bottom and becomes darker on the top to focus the audience's attention on the projection screen. The stage is very simple, and like the design of Matt Cutz's presentation on trying something new for 30 days, there's a red dot where the speaker stands to focus the audience's attention on the speaker. Okay, moving on to his slides. Paolo uses very simple slide design with effective use of white space. He uses 3 different types of slides. 1 is just a plain text, 2 is images, and 3 is images and text. In his text-only slide, he used bold lettering to focus the audience's attention on the element multi, which is one of the main themes of his presentation, and that's the top slide to the left. When you look at a slide that uses his images, like the slide at the top right of the screen, he uses it to compare and contrast multitasking versus monotasking. So he's using it to have a function and explain one of his ideas. And then in his third type of slide, where we're talking about using an image and text, he shows the presentation of his idea with an image and a simple text that is just words and not complete sentences to elaborate upon that idea. This presentation of text seems to go along with his idea of simplicity. And that is all for Talk 4. Now on to Talk 5. Simplifying Complexity is the title of Talk 5. And this talk discusses how we can use computer illustrations to simplify complex systems that occur in the world today. So for this talk, the presenter's name is Eric Burlow, and Eric Burlow is an ecologist and network specialist. Like other presenters, Burlow is dressed casually. However, his shirt is tucked in and he has a sleek style. He appears to be more formal and prepared to discuss a more serious topic compared to the other presenters. The stage is very similar to the stage we saw with Derek Sivers' talk, Keep Your Goals to Yourself. The only difference is the color has changed. Once again, there is a lot on this stage, so I question how the author appears and how his presentation slides appear to the audience. It is clear in this situation that there is a red dot where we didn't see it with Derek Sivers, and of course this red dot helps focus the audience's attention on the speaker. And for his slides, he uses a variety of slides. One type of slide he uses presents his ideas to the audience clearly, and he does this with illustrations. So he's talking about kind of like setting up these, showing complexity with illustrations, so he uses his illustrations actually to show how this would work. And he uses a dark background or a white background for this, and he uses a number of different colors to project themselves off the screen. And so you can see that in the two top slides that are there. He also uses shapes in those slides to show relationships and make his ideas clear. And then the last type of slide he uses simply uses a picture to provide the audience with a visual of what he is discussing and help them understand his concepts. So all in all, that is my talk on TED Talks, or my presentation on TED Talks. I hope you liked it. I hope you saw a pattern. Really what TED Talks are doing is it seems that they're trying to use their presentation just to give the audience a visual of their ideas. And I think it works. Okay, thank you.